This video focuses on creating budgets in QuickBooks Online Plus. You do need to have the Plus level of QuickBooks Online in order to get the budget feature that you see up here. I'm going to create a new budget from scratch, and you'll find the access point to budgets, clicking on the gear icon, tools, budgeting, and I'll show you a couple reports as well that we have. Now I have some existing budgets here that I've done, mostly for job costing to get a budget to actual, but this one's just going to be a straight P&L by class for fiscal year of 2015. You just click on New Budget. It's a little wizard you go through. Click Next. And I'm actually going to do no amounts, create budget from scratch. However, you could pull in the actual amounts from last fiscal year or another, this fiscal year, or you could copy from an existing budget that you already have if you want to bring over some amounts. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and no amounts, create budget from scratch. And then I am going to subdivide by classes. However, I could subdivide by locations if I wanted to, or by customers if I'm doing, say, a budget to actual for job costing workaround. But I'm going to do classes, as most of us do leverage classes for our clients with QuickBooks in general. Go ahead and click Next. And now you just kind of name it. So this is going to be FY15 by class. Choose your fiscal year. And again, I could do multiple budgets within FY15 if I want, whereas in desktop, I can only do one per fiscal year. Go ahead and click Finish. And it's going to give me a total blank slate, right? And there's different ways to actually enter. You can enter by the month, which I'm going to do, and I'm just going to copy across because I think that's what we're used to. However, you could do quarterly if you want, or by year. And literally you just click on the income and just put in the amount, and it's going to go ahead and average it across for the whole year. Let's go by month though and say for consulting revenue, we get about 2K, and then I'm going to copy across and then save and next, right? And then you just keep going down the list. So again, I've set up, I basically copied them across just to keep it simple, but you could put in, varying amounts per month, or again, you could enter all the amounts by quarter or just a total for the year. I find for long-term jobs that you're working on, using enter by total is the best. But for me, I want to do it by month. I think it'll help with the reporting. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click Finished. It brings me back to the home page. So now let's just look at a report. I'm going to go to Reports, and it's under All Reports, Business Overview. So I'll take you back to that. Business Overview is where you're going to find the two budget reports we have in QuickBooks Online Plus. You scroll down, we have the budget to actual, and we have the budget overview. So if we look at the budget overview, and here's the budget that I want to use, and I'm going to do accounts by months and non-zero, and we'll run the report. And then here's my budget based on the data I entered. And I'm going to go back to reports now, and we'll do budget to actual. And we're going to do only accounts with budgeted amounts. I do like that. And again, accounts by month, and I have dollar over and percent over. You could also add dollar remaining, percent remaining, and I'm going to do non-zero. We'll just run it like this for now. And so here I have my, actual budget, over budget, percent of budget, all the way across. And of course, this can go out to Excel. I can also come in and show the grid, classes by months, classes by quarters, or classes by total. Now, since I was doing the fiscal year P&L for class, I can show the grid by classes against months and click Run Report. This gives me a lot of good data. These are all my classes I have, and then where I am and where I have no budgeted amounts as well. I mean, mostly it's for audit, but it's a good way when you create the budget to run this report and see what data is missing, because then I can always go back to the budgeting tool. So in order to really build out this report, I'm going to want to then set up a budget for, conferences that I go to, and I'll get another blank grid, and I'll go ahead and fill them out and copy across, or enter a quarterly or yearly if you want for a total. And then when I run that classes versus months, I'll have data budgeted for across all classes or customers. That was another option when you're setting up the new budget, to get a more detailed budget to actual report. And one more example, I did a P&L budget for fiscal year 14, so for last year, and you can uncheck so it doesn't show any blank rows. And I can see, really filled this one out. And I think it's key to spend some time here to actually fill it out as best you can. And then when we go run the report for that, and we'll do budget versus actual, choose this particular one. And again, accounts versus months, only accounts with budgeted amounts, click run report. And so a much fuller report. So you can do it just for accounts, or you can do it for classes or customer jobs. But remember, for the classes and customer jobs, you need to fill out, the budget grid for each of those list elements. And that's budgets in QuickBooks Online Plus.